Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the local pundit. It is a Monday morning for me. It is ring and rant time. It is exciting. We've gotten through the weekend. We've gotten a draw. Wasn't exactly the result ultimately that we'd hoped for, but wasn't bad either. We have gotten into another day. Hello, Turbo Fat. Good to see you in here. We've got 4 people in looking already, and I am looking at the table, and I am going. Looks okay, is what I'm going to say. Looks okay. Doesn't look amazing. Hey, Carol, how are you? Yep, I'm going to throw the link in there if anybody wants to come in, because it is your show. It is the Ring and Rant show. And as you can see here, we have the table. We have Coventry still powering along, 10 points clear at the top of the table. Middlesbrough did get a late win over Derby yesterday to get up 2-1, which was great for them. So fantastic for them to maintain second place. Then it gets very interesting. Millwall did get their win, which was a great win for them. It did make the table look very interesting. They got a 3-2 win over Southampton, which I didn't predict. It's amazing how this weekend has turned out. Stoke City took a loss, though. So we lost points to Coventry, Middlesbrough and Millwall because we only got 1 point. So we lost 2 points to them, but we gained a point on Stoke. We lost 2 points to Preston. We lost 2 points to Bristol, and we lost 2 points to Hull. So everyone sort of stretched away from us a little bit there in front of us. So not the greatest weekend in trying to catch everyone above us. We did go ahead of Birmingham, but they haven't played their match yet. So they have to play Watford. And I don't know what I want there, because if they get a draw, Birmingham will go ahead of us on for and against. If Watford win, they'll go ahead of us because they will move to 27 points. So, and if Birmingham obviously win, they go ahead of us. But so I don't know what result I want there. So, yeah, I think it's really interesting, Carol, to see what happens in January. Time will tell. It's a little bit away, but, after our 1-1 draw yesterday, what was good to see was some of the other players hitting the pitch. It was good to see Connor Cody get back on the pitch and actually have an impact with that left foot. That was interesting. So I can see him playing the next game. But it is, Carol, it is so close, this league. It's unbelievable. Who knows how this is going to go? I mean, it's just one of those things that you go, what can we do? I mean, when I look at the matches that were played out yesterday, and I bring those up on the screen now, what you can see there is obviously early on in the weekend, Oxford with their surprise victory over Ipswich just does go to show, as I struggle to get my words out, how tight this league is. Obviously, Sheffield United also got a win over Leicester City. I mean, Bristol only just got over the top of Portsmouth. Hull got over the top of Stoke. I mean, so, Hull's tightened that gap. They've managed to just sit just outside the top 6 there on 28 points. We're only 3 points out of the 6. It's going to be super, super tight. Preston got over Sheffield Wednesday. After Sheffield Wednesday were up early, and it was looking like they may actually get some points. I did predict that they're not going to get back to 0 points by Christmas. I'm going to stand by that. Coventry just continued on their merry way and got a big 3-1 win over Charlton, which did leaves Charlton now 4 losses on the trot, down in 17th spot, and ironically only 6 points out of the relegation zone. That's how quickly, only 2 weeks ago, Charlton were in the playoffs. So it shows you it was still early in the season. We're over a third of the way through. We're not halfway through yet. We've got to get to Christmas to get to halfway point. So, I mean, Millwall, obviously, that 3-2 win over Southampton, as I mentioned. West Brom beating Swansea 3-2, which leaves Swansea currently tied in the relegation zone, but out of it only on for and against by 1 goal. So not great for them. We obviously had our draw Norwich getting a surprise win, winning 3-1 over QPR, which kept them on 25 points and managed to give us a 1-point gap on them, which was great for us. But still, Norwich do remain in the relegation zone. So very interesting there. Middlesbrough, like I said, 2-1 win, late over Derby too, by the way. And tomorrow we do have the Birmingham Watford. So if anybody wants to come in and have a chat, talk about yesterday's game, feel free to jump on in. I'll throw the link in there again. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. There's already talk going on. The talk is talking in terms of the transfer window coming up in January. Also, at that point of the year, the squad list opens up and we can play some other players. So that's very interesting as well. Who knows? I'm just going to turn the light on here. I do need to get myself a light. See, as I move there slightly, I do get slightly better light on my face. But as I just mentioned, it's really interesting now to see how it's going to play out. Just looking at our schedule, I know we have Preston away in our next game, which I'm going to be very interested to see how we go there with the week off. Interesting. Birmingham had a bit longer of a break from their midweek game and split up. So they end up with sort of about 5 games, Birmingham and Watford, 5 days, between their games. And as I go in here, I'll just quickly, we don't mention it much on the channel, but congratulations to the women on their 4-2 win over Swansea. A great win for them. So that was fantastic. Good to see. That was great. Let's have a look. Light up that Arctic blonde hair. Yeah, they call me an Aryan love child, Paul. It is super white. You know, I am. That is just who I am. So I cannot change it. That is just the way it is. The blue hair, blue eyes, blonde hair. Who knows? So Arctic. It is full on Arctic blonde. You are right. Some would call it grey now, but you know I'm still running with blonde. Preston North End. Very funny. Maybe looks like Rob and Ryan will be reaching deep into their pockets. Well, how deep into their pockets? How much money does the club actually have now? We don't know. They might be reaching very deep into their pockets at all. We don't know. But yes, we will be spending. I will agree with you on that point. So yeah, we have Preston, then we have Hull, then Watford. So we have Hull away. So we have 2 games away now. We have Preston and Hull away. Then we come home to play Watford. Then away to Swansea. Interesting. So we head down to Swansea Stadium there. So that'll be interesting. Then we have Sheffield United at home, who at the moment are in hot form. So let's hope they go a little bit off the boil come Boxing Day, just after Christmas, which is a holiday here in Australia. I don't know. America doesn't celebrate Boxing Day from memory. And then we have Preston North End again on, the 30th of December, my time, 29th of December for most of you. So that is interesting. And then our final game of the year on New Year's Eve is Blackburn Rovers. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more games to close out the year. Yeah. So busy. It is the 1st of December here in Australia. So we're already into December. And looking at that, you go, okay, well, we have, 7 games to run out the year, which gets us to 25 games played out of 46. So it gets us over halfway. Christmas basically gets us to the halfway point of the season. So that'll be a very good time to take stock and see where we are. As long as we're within touching distance, 3 points for me. As long as we're within 3 points of the playoffs, that'd be great. We are currently obviously in that position, but we are also only, and I say this with, a great deal of hope and anticipation, 7 points away from auto promotion. Now, yeah, I think that's possibly a bridge too far, but never going to count Wrexham out. Who knows? We're capable of anything. But it is, there are so many good teams. And just to run off the list of teams that we would have to get over the top of currently, because Birmingham is behind us, we would currently have to get over the top of Ipswich, Hull, Bristol City, Preston, Stoke, Millwall, and Middlesbrough to get into the auto promotion spot. So yeah, a very elite group of teams to jump over to make it there. So yeah, I just don't know. The January transfer window is the 1st of January. Yeah, that's when it does open. It closes on when does it close? Let me just check for you. I will tell you in a second. I'm just reading here now for you guys. February deadline. So it must be the whole month of January. It must be January 1 to January 31. So English January 1st and closes on February 2nd for the Premier League. So I'm assuming that is the same for the Championship. And I will make sure of that for you now. So that is definitely... Yeah, no, it's saying 1st of January to the 2nd of February. Okay, Ken is not drunk. Haven't had a drink. It is 7:04 in the morning and I have a coffee in my hand. Yeah. So what have we got? That was for you, Paul. Sarah, good, and hello to everybody, obviously, in the chat. I can't believe how far into the season we are. I'm already not too sure. What's SR, Sarah? I don't know. Because, yeah, it's SR, I think, senior, but I'm not going to say you are. Ken is not drunk. And, hey, Ken, what do you think? If Sargent becomes available this January, would you like to see Wrexham sign him? No is my answer to that. Simply enough. Oh, sad. Oh, sorry, Sarah. Sad. Okay, you're already sad. I don't know why you're sad. It's so exciting. But, yeah, I would not like to see us sign Sargent. I would like to see us sign players, though. But Sargent's not the player that I'm looking for. Yeah. So that's my answer. Oh, good answer. I didn't realize it was a test. I didn't realize it was a test. Thought you were just asking my opinion. So, yeah, interesting transfer window. I want 2 wing backs and a top end striker is what I want to go shopping for come January. That's what I want. We'll see where we go shopping and what we buy. Yeah, you're asking because Josh thinks, yeah, but Josh doesn't know what he's talking about. I mean, he's loco. No. Look, and that's just it. See, everybody has their own opinion. Maybe he likes, does he? I mean, he might like, he could have some very valid reasons for liking Sargent. And, for me personally, I want a slightly different type of striker. And I just feel like, yeah, that's what I want. So, no to Sargent if we can't play Smith or Hardy. Well, that's interestingly enough, we played Smith, Moore, Windass, Broadhead, all out on the pitch there the other night. Obviously, we were chasing the game. Yeah, Sean says we need another big striker. Sargent fits the bill. Fair call. He's not my guy. Yeah. I want to spend just a touch more money. And again, I'm going shopping with somebody else's money, so it doesn't matter. But for that position, and ultimately you do have to pay pretty big bucks for a top end striker. Now, I think the news that came out about the club searching overseas is a very smart one to try and hopefully find something with a bit better value. Because, the English Football League is not the only league on the planet, and there's some great players around the world that we can go hunting for. So, Sargent hasn't scored since August, but he's playing in a pretty poor team. So I'm not going to rag on Sargent. They did get a win on the weekend, but, yeah, I just feel like if we're talking about the transfer window, nobody seems to want to talk about the game on the weekend. But if we're talking about the transfer window, then we're really talking about who is the best value for us. So yeah, and I see I have a regular. Here we go. How are you, Habs?
Yeah, what's going on?
Oh, mate, I'm just here, opening up Ring and Rant for me on a Monday morning, for everybody on a Sunday evening, typically, to come in and have their say.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I mean, we didn't get much chance to do much of a extra time, so there'll be something to fill in for the time being.
What did you think of the game?
First half, it was the first 20 minutes were okay-ish, and then all of a sudden there was just something. We just got overwhelmed in the midfield. We did. Just had no control over the midfield until we made the subs in the second half. That was around the 59th minute.
Yeah, I think your point around the first 20 minutes, yes, we would look good in the middle there. But then once Blackburn adjusted to our setup, they started to take more control of the ball at that point in time. Although we did end up with almost 65% possession for the match. I don't know whether anybody noticed that, but it was a very, we did have most of the possession and we looked okay with the ball. But Blackburn are very hard to break down in the final third.
It's because they were going to be using low block counter-attacking style football, so they were always going to come on. They were always going to come at us very direct, and they were always going to use always just trying to tackle us on the transition.
Yep, and a very clinical goal too by them to go up 1-0. Like it was a classic quick on the transition, hitting us direct, and a really, really good header because it got it wrong-footed AO, and he had no chance to stop it.
Pretty much, he was misdirected in a way that he just didn't see the goal coming.
Yeah, so but I mean, they have Miller who plays for them, who is an Australian. He's in our national team, so I know him very well, and he is a very, very good defender. So yeah, he's Lewis Miller, and he's had he's played 17 matches for them this season. But when I look at him I'm not too sure how many games he's played for Australia now, but yeah, he's a very solid defender, and he sort of marks up very well, very hard to get past, and he also is good at getting that very direct ball through.
It seems to be the case. I mean, the combination of Morishita and Ohashi were always deadly, especially when they were getting onto the final third. They were always deadly because they just came at you with such speed. They did.
Yeah, they did. They absolutely did. And I mean, look, it was a game that just ultimately I wasn't surprised with the result, to be honest, because they're a team that, their away record this season is fantastic for a start, but also they're just a quality side, and they just probably haven't quite got all the results that they've deserved so far this season, to be honest.
I guess it's just the way they set them up and the way they wanted to play them. When you play that particular style, you better hit hard and as quick as possible. And it's a very exhausting style of play as well. So you better have a lot of endurance to be able to handle that, to soak up as much pressure as possible. Because as soon as we did our subs, we just kept pinning them. We kept pinning them in their box after the 60th minute, and they just couldn't get out half the time.
Yeah, but they weren't chasing a goal at that point in time. They were just trying to shut it down. So I think that was a little bit of a false confidence there, because they were happy to let us have the ball at that point in time.
I mean, their entire style with low block counter-attacking football, it allows them to want you to have the ball the entire time. But in the case of after the 60th minute, they just couldn't really get out. We were just creating a lot of quality. Because I don't know what it was yesterday. The midfielders, Sheaf, James, and O'Brien, it just didn't seem to. There was something completely off. They were always way off. There was that one moment when I think it was Scar or Hyam who passed out to Matty James. Matty James just stood there, and they almost scored on us. He almost let a goal get through because he didn't get the ball.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, I felt like Sheaf needed the rest. He's a great player. He just, those 3 games in 7 or 8 days, however Parky called it 7, I'll call it 8 days. 3 games in 8 days. And also the fact that I think Lewis O'Brien hasn't quite been in the same form as he was at the very beginning of the season. He's just a couple of percent off.
Yeah, I'm getting that as well. Maybe it was just an off day for him. That could just be it.
Hopefully. Yeah. What did you think of Cody when he came on?
Cody?
Oh, sorry. Just having wing back. Oh, bloody Doyle, Callum Doyle.
Oh, Doyle. Yeah, it changed. You could see how effective he was because they switched out Scar for Doyle, Windass for O'Brien, and who else was it? There was the third person there.
Well, they brought on Smith as well.
Smith, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and they brought on Barnett as well.
Yeah,
so,
Barney came on for Macca, and they swapped Longman across. So, yeah, they brought on.
That was the 59-minute sub. That was so. It was those 3. So it's Barnett, Windass, and Doyle, and so Longman had to go onto the left to cover that side of it. I mean, it changed the dynamic very quickly, but we were very left wing dependent. If you noticed in the match, we were not relying on. We were not going to the right that often. We were going to the left.
Much. Yeah, which is interesting because that's obviously Macca's side, and if you had to pick the weaker of the 2 out of Longman and Mackie, it'd say to be Macca. But the way that Blackburn were forcing us to play meant that we were having to come down his side.
Yeah, I mean, Longman was still being used. He was being used quite a bit on the right. But it was when McLean was subbed off and we put in Longman on the left, that's when you started noticing we were able to attack far more quickly because you had Doyle as well being able to pick up the pace with his quality as well. But and then our midfield started. Oh, and we also brought Dobson on. I forgot about Dobson. It was Dobson. That's who it was. It was Dobson. What was it? It was Dobson, Doyle, and then Windass. They changed the dynamic completely because Sheaf came off. You still had James there, but then we had the defensive aspect being able to counterbalance the counter-attacking abilities of Blackburn. So they kept the balance there. Maybe they should have gone with that, but I just don't think that midfield was suited for this match. I don't think. I think if it was more of an open match, if it was more of an expansive one, they would have been far more effective.
So do you think, like obviously with Doyle, do you think if he had started the match, he would have been as impactful as he was when he came on as a sub?
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. It would have. The reason I say that is because it was because we changed our formation and we changed the positions of our players as well. So along with the subs, we had a change in the way our players are going to be played as well.
Yeah, and I guess I agree with you on that point because I just think that sometimes people watch like the last 20 minutes of a game when you've made those subs and you're chasing the game and being super aggressive. And don't get me wrong, some of Doyle's passes with his left boot were fantastic and he was opening Blackburn up a little bit. But we were at that point in the game where you're at full-on attack because we're chasing the game. We're down 1-0. We've got nothing to lose. When it's 0-0, does he play slightly more defensive, I guess is my point.
Which is odd because Dobson is a very defensive midfielder, but he also has very clean passes in certain aspects as well. So
when he's fresh, he does. Yeah, he's excellent. Like early in games, he looks great with his passing. And in fact, to be honest, the whole team has looked better this year with their passing. I will definitely, I will give them credit for that. You know, I can see the improvement in our game and how we're holding the ball and moving the ball around. And you know, and in the last 2 games, I've been massively impressed with Broadhead and his work rate and how he's been moving around the pitch too.
Absolutely. I mean, the way we used Windass and Broadhead together, that was an interesting one. We finally got to see them work together, and it seems to work out well. I think it does, but that's because that's a very aggressive attacking focused attacking midfield, you could say.
Interesting. You just bring up Windass there, and the almost goal that he scored when Moore got the ball, he attacked a little bit down the left edge of the box. Windass followed behind him and then only cut back to the centre late. And the only reason he got anywhere near that ball was the fact that that Moore's shot was deflected by the keeper and not stopped by the keeper. Otherwise, Windass wouldn't have got anywhere near that ball. I'm wondering what goes through Windass's mind when he doesn't head straight to the box, especially when Moore's pushing wide.
I mean, he's kind of been pushed. That's not originally his natural position. He would have played a lot more deeper when he was at Chef Wednesday, but he's been basically told to attack, to go further forward. Similar thing with O'Brien. He's always played deeper. He'd prefer to play deeper, but he's been told to basically go forward. And it works well for them, but it also depends on the opposition they go up against.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, look, we've got a tough game coming up. We're away to Preston now, who was sitting in 5th place. They won their last game. They're a good team. I'll be quite happy to go there and get a point, to be honest. Yeah, I want to win, but if we can go to Preston and get a point, I'll be a happy boy.
I think we can beat them, I think
we can beat any team, Habs, in the league on our day. We've proven that. I mean, we're the only team to beat Coventry this year, but in the law of averages, like you win at home and draw away, you're going to have a very successful season. Now, obviously, we didn't win at home this week, but going away to Preston, I think we need the week off. We need these 7 days to rest some players and get them healthy.
Oh, definitely. It's going to be hard to see. I mean, who was their last match they just played? So
Preston.
Yeah.
Preston on the weekend, they played.
Was it Sheffield United or?
No. What's going on there? That doesn't seem right. Format schedule. That doesn't seem right. Yeah, it was. Yeah, they went away to Sheffield Wednesday. Now, ironically, that match, they went down. Well, they went down 1-0. Then they got back to 1-1 in the 10th minute. Like Sheffield Wednesday scored through Charlie McNeil twice. Once in the 3rd minute to go up 1-0, but then Whiteman scored in the 10th minute to bring it, square it up. But then McNeil scored again in the 14th minute, and they were 2-1 up all the way through to the 57th minute. And, but then Dobbin scored in the 57th, and Frokjar Jensen scored in the 76th to seal them a victory. And I guess their quality showed through in the end, but it was actually looking like Sheffield Wednesday might have caused a huge upset there at one point.
But they tend to be that kind of team to just cause random upsets. They've got nothing to lose, really. So,
well, I mean, any game they win is going to be considered a random upset at this point in time, because let's face it, they're sitting on -4 points.
-4 points, yeah.
Yeah, and as my screen freezes up for some reason, which is not good, I'll just fix that. There we go. Yeah, I mean, let's face it, they have had. Okay, Habs, here you go. Bit of a with that. Are you looking at the screen? Do you know with it? I'll give you a quick quiz. How many games have Sheffield Wednesday won this season?
I think it's about 3 or 4.
Do you know any teams they've beaten?
I can't remember them off the top of my head.
Well, they beat us.
They did. No, they didn't. We drew with them.
Oh, did we? Was it a draw?
Yeah, we drew. Yeah, it was a draw.
Okay. Well, I can tell you now, they've
They beat
won
you,
one game. They've won one game so far this season.
Was that Sheffield United?
I'm just looking for it now. Not there, not there. Wow. No, they beat Portsmouth 2-0.
Portsmouth.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So that's a pretty, and they've had 5 draws. So, we even without their points deduction, they'd still only be on 8 points and be, 9 points out of getting out of the relegation zone, even without their points deduction. So you can see why so many people were tipping them to be relegated and come last this season.
I mean, even with 8 points, it's still something to build on. So you can just somewhat get out of that situation. But
oh, geez, you're an optimist, Habs, if you're saying that, aren't you? 8 points after 18 games.
It doesn't mean you've lost. It doesn't mean you're relegated yet. If you can get yourself out of that, if you can dig out that hole, then if you can get yourself out of that hole, then you can just somehow just survive the relegation. You can build back up. But
Sheffield United have managed to do it. Like they've won their last 3 games to go to 19 points. So they were only on 10 points after 15 games, and now they're on 19 points. So they've managed to actually, dig themselves out of the mire.
Yeah, that's what happens. So they'll probably. It depends on what kind of push they end up manage to do coming up.
Well, there you go. Sheffield United are only 7 points behind us now. And they're in 19th spot.
It tells you more about the league, though, than anything else.
It absolutely does, Habs. And I guess that was my point. The league is super, super tight, and it's just such a hard league to create space, which is even more reason to give Coventry their dues so far this season.
Absolutely. I mean, look at they got a 10-point lead over Middlesbrough. They have right now,
and a 12-point lead over third spot. 4 matches.
That's still mad. Still mad.
Yeah, a 12-point lead over third and a 35-goal difference over third spot.
Yeah, I mean they could have gotten second if they could have gone second on. I was talking about Ipswich actually, but Ipswich could have gone second on Friday.
Yeah,
but if Middlesbrough won anyway, they probably would have been around fourth or fifth.
They'd be fourth.
Yeah.
They'd be fourth right now, and they're playing back Blackburn midweek to do their makeup game.
Oh yeah, they got to do that as well.
They've got the game in hand too. Remember? Yeah, so they definitely could have been by the end of this week. They could have definitely been in second, without any dramas whatsoever, if they'd gone ahead and beaten Oxford, which was a surprise loss. Even though I didn't know the stat that they actually hadn't won at Oxford.
Yeah, they haven't won at Oxford for last 12 years, I think it was.
Yeah, since Jesus was a boy. So a long time. So you need about 50 points to avoid relegation, says Sean. Interesting, maybe. Yeah, I guess that's probably that's about the number, I guess, when you look at it.
Yeah, it's about 50 points to survive in the league, 50 to 55 points. And then whatever you make up for the rest of it is for you to try and get into the playoffs or try and get into the automatics now. For us, we can still reach the playoffs. We can. So we're not even that far off. We're only about three or 4 points.
Yeah, but 3 points. We're 3 points outside of the playoffs at the moment.
if we play well and have a bit of luck with some teams either losing or drawing, we could easily be in sixth right now. But I mean, if we had won, we would be around fifth or sixth by Monday.
Yeah. Now we did, and it's interesting how fans perceive, their season, because when you look at the weekend's game, right, and we got the draw against Blackburn very, very late. Now I know Josh and even myself have harped on about how, we shouldn't have lost to Southampton. We should have done this, we should have done that. But we've gone and gotten a draw against Blackburn late. We've, a lot of people, you can argue the argument both ways for our game against Birmingham, which we drew, that we should have either won it or lost it. So I guess it depends on how you look at each game to decide whether it was a great result or we let points get away.
I mean, everything's in hindsight as well. I mean, the Southampton match was basically our reintroduction to the Championship or the second division. And that hasn't been done in 40 years. And you have to look at the squad we had at the time as well. It's not the same squad that we have now.
No, it's not. But you do remember, I'm just bringing it up now just to refresh my memory. We were 1-0 up and they scored in the 90th and 90 plus 6. So literally we were leading basically at full time.
That is true. But even if they were going all out on us. So
just like we were against Blackburn.
Yes, in a sense. But they were going all on.
Exactly the same. We went full out attack.
Difference is that we're much more settled now into the league, and we have far more comprehension of what's happening around us. So we were a little bit different when we came in, because this is
we were still chasing a result though. Look, that doesn't change that fact.
Oh, of course, but we were still trying to figure things out, and everyone will tell you. I mean, I look at it in terms of 3 3-month blocks to see how well we're doing. Like the way we played at the beginning of the season in the first month is nowhere near the same. We're not playing the same way. Yeah, I mean, like what was it? It was in August it started. So we're in November now. Well, reaching December, we're playing completely different to the way we were playing at the beginning of the season, and our player selection was completely different as well.
Yeah,
and Parky was probably still experimenting with what he's got. So he was still. I mean, he said it in some of the interviews that it's the process and the progress that we want to see in how we're playing, and we're seeing it.
And I feel like our game has improved.
I think so as well. I mean, we're getting much more. I mean, you can see the quality of some of our players are starting to develop. They're starting to evolve for this league as well.
Yep.
And as well as adding the newer quality in as well at the same time, it's going to be interesting. This comes full circle back into your transfer talk for January.
Yeah. And what's your thoughts there, Habs? I'm thinking 2 wingbacks and a striker. What's your thoughts?
The most important pieces were the wingbacks. I said this on so many of these shows or in the chat. We need wingbacks as some of the most important pieces. Strikers, we just have to be a bit more creative with the ones we have. I mean, if we're going to have to get one, we're going to have to get a big one. But I would like to get a more effective striker. That would be. If we're going to go for another striker, it would have to be a lot faster, but it also can do the same roles that Moore can do, and is more skillful than Moore.
So we're going to spend some money, aren't we? Then, if we're getting that type of player.
I mean, the basic idea, the player profile I'm looking at is like a Nick Voltamada at Newcastle, but we're not going to get that guy.
No. Yeah, very interesting, Habs. Very interesting. I think it's going to be fun times coming up for the transfer window, I think. But before that, like I said, we've got 7 games before the transfer window opens. So a possible 21 points for any of the teams currently playing, and a possible 24 points for Blackburn and Ipswich, because they've got an extra game.
They do. I mean, we could get. Let's just hope they get a draw. So I'm not hoping for the worst, but if they can get a draw, it'll do us good in our league position overall. And we can probably get all of those 21 points, or as close as possible. I mean, who have we got next?
Yep. And hello to Hip Karma. I noticed, yes, Hip Karma. RingNRant was listed for 10:30 your time. Josh had put it up, but I moved it earlier just to suit my day. So apologies for that. I did put something up in the Discord just to let everyone know, but apologies if I've mucked you up there. So yeah, So I think so there you go. Possible 21 points. I think if we get 10 points out of these next. Oh no, I probably want 12 points to be fair. 12
That's
points.
what I was thinking as well. I was thinking 12 to 15 if we can get 15 to maximise everything.
15
just to give us it gives us the cushion that we need, because we got let's see.
Well, 15 would be 2.1, 2.2 points per game.
Yeah. I mean, we got what was it? We have Preston North End on the 6th. Then we got Hull. And then we got Watford, and then we got Swansea, and then we got Sheffield United on Boxing Day, and then we got Preston on the 29th, and then we got Blackburn Rovers again, and we're going to their end on the 1st. So we can eke a win. I mean, before New Year's, we could win. This is the matches I predict that we could win. We could win Preston. We could win. We could win Hull. Hull we could quite easily win if we're defensively astute. Because if we're not switched on, they could end up scoring like maniacs against us. They could. So, but we could win that. Watford, it could go either way. We can beat Swansea. We could beat Sheffield United. And I want to beat Sheffield United, actually. I want to beat them.
Okay.
A good reason. Yeah, it's because of Billy Gilmore. That was the reason why.
Sorry, what's that, Pat? Abs?
Billy Gilmore.
Yep.
That's when he was still there. I want to beat Sheffield United just because of that reason alone.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, it's so. I mean, okay, so let's play glass half full and give you the 15 points for the next 7, which gives us 41 points. You know, now here's a scary thought: if we get Habs' 15 points that he wants, and we get to 41 points, we still wouldn't have caught where Coventry are right now.
I mean, they're running away with everything though, so.
Good, and good luck to them.
I mean, we're still on the eve of our season, so this is our eve season.
It's such a great league to watch. You know, because of these reasons, it's so tight. You know, and it's funny. I've actually just gone and looked up the League One standings just to see. So to give you an idea how good Coventry's going, and they're running away with stuff. Here's the points in League One. Leader 32, then 31, 31, 31, 29, 28, 27 is 7th spot. 7th spot is Luton Town. Bolton on 28 and 6, Stockport on 29 in 5th. Lincoln City on 31 in fourth, Bradford City on 31 in third, Stevenage in second place on 31, with a game in hand on a couple of players. Lincoln City's played 18, Stevenage has only played 16, but Cardiff City on 32 and have only played 16 games. They've got a couple of games in hand on a few teams. So looks like that Welsh team may well be coming back up.
Yeah, I mean, and where's Stockport? They're where are they as of right now?
They're in 29 points in fifth, and they've played one game more than Cardiff, and they're 3 points behind them.
Expect them to come up at some point.
Well, I mean, Stockport's form means they're supposed to get an auto promotion this year. They normally go playoffs, miss out, next year auto promotion, go up. That's been their historical pattern.
Yeah, it's usually their pattern is that goes alongside ours. If one of us go up, and one of us goes up, one of them doesn't. But if it's not, if it's either one of them, or if it's both of them, then we both go up, and then after that, if one of them goes up, we'd come up the season after, and we're going to see the old enemy at some point.
Their last 5 years have been playoff, go up, a playoff auto promotion, playoff auto promotion, playoff. So if they want to follow their pattern, it's auto promotion for them this year.
You can always break tradition. Playoff.
So hard to go up in the playoffs, though, isn't it? Like you're a 1 in 4 chance, and it's just sudden death. So many variables.
But they do have the quality to go up. That's the thing for League One. So, but that's just them. And I don't want to talk about them. Those people are weirdos. And I forgot to say, it wasn't Billy Gilmore. It was Billy Sharp from Billy Sharp. Yes. Sheffield United. That's what it was.
Yep. No. So anyway, it's been it was an interesting weekend, obviously for us, championship wise. Interesting. The championship had some upsets this weekend. When I look at the matches on the weekend, and I would go, okay, so far this weekend there's been 12 matches, and of those 12 matches, I think you can make a good argument to say, obviously, Oxford beating Ipswich is an upset. Sheffield United beating Leicester, a lot of people can call that an upset, although it probably isn't because Leicester hasn't been in great form. Hull City, but we'll call that one an upset. I'll go this way. Hull City beating Stoke, you can call that an upset. So that's 3 upsets. Then you could actually say Millwall beating Southampton at the moment could be an upset with the form that Southampton's been in. That's 4. Norwich beating QPR, definitely an upset. That's 5. So out of the 12 matches, you could make a good argument to say there's been 5 upsets so far this weekend.
Yeah, there's been a few. There's been a few on there.
Yep. And Birmingham at home to Watford, who would you say is favourite?
Well, at home, Birmingham are playing at home right now, so they are more likely to be the favourites. But going by Watford, they're an unusual team. It could go either way with them. They are a weird team.
These two teams, I honestly can't, and I'm just going to have a look and see what I did in terms of the tipping competition for this game. Yeah, I tipped a draw. There you go. I tipped a 1-1 draw.
See, I could see a draw as well between them. It would be that kind of it'll be hard to know who exactly would win out of those two, because Watford is that kind of weird banana split. That kind of banana split.
Yeah, definitely. So going to be a very interesting game for them. Birmingham, well, both teams will desperately want to win just to stay in the chase. You know, Watford with a win can move to within 2 points of the playoffs. Birmingham with a win will actually move
7th. They will
in 1 point of the playoffs.
Yeah, they'll be 7th.
Yeah. So, you know, no matter what happens this weekend in this game tomorrow, we will drop back to 10th.
Yeah, which sucks.
Oh, doesn't really matter, I don't think, at this point in the season. It's about your points being close to the playoffs, whether you're in 17th or second, as long as you're in like really tight in that points race at the moment, because the spread will happen organically as the year progresses. So the more you stay in contention, some teams will drop off.
I just like the look of the table where we're just ahead of Birmingham. It's a nice feeling.
I agree with you, Habs. Actually, we're in total agreement there. Yeah, as long as we're ahead of Birmingham, life is good. Anytime I can have a dig at John Merrill, it's worth it's worth every cent. So and look, Birmingham is a great side, and all credit to them. But I just want to beat them.
Of course, we gotta get them back when we go down to their end. Yeah. We have to beat them. We just have to beat them for doing that.
No, well, Habs, look, I'm going to have to probably pull it up here because I've got to get to work today. Is there anything you just want to cover off finally before we get out of here?
I mean, let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do for next week, because we've got Preston North End. Let's see if we can get a win out of them. We just got to make sure we're prepared and we've got something set up. But we've got something positive happening, and we're going up. We're seeing further and further progress.
Yeah, I think so too. I think, can we go up? Can we get the win at Preston? That would be look. If we do, it's a big win, in my opinion. They're fifth on the ladder. It would be obviously perfect for us in terms of tightening up the ladder some more, because we'd gain 3 points on them and move to within 1 point of Preston. They'd still be above us, but it would help us tighten up our gap to the top, and we'd probably be only 1 or 2 points off the top 6 if we achieve that.
Of course.
So yeah, I guess with that one, we might call up stumps for the day. Habs, thanks for coming in.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah. So guys, don't forget, as always, you have Wrexham Reaction with Josh. Tomorrow you'll have Champ Chat. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you get the chance on the way out. Become a member, really helps the channel. We have ticked over the 3,000. Next stop 4,000. So away we go. But let's hope Wrexham can continue on their merry way. And on that bombshell, we will see you all again next time. Have a great day, guys. We will see you later.